In this video I'm going to talk about working with LIDAR data in Civil 3D. We use LIDAR data, for example, when we have a drone survey done, or when we have no survey and we need to get some levels for a quote or a tender response. I'm going to use the latter as an example in this and show you where you can get your LIDAR data from and then import it into this plan that you see here for a proposed pub in the north of England. Now, before I go and create my surface with LIDAR, let's understand what LIDAR is. It stands for Light Detection and Ranging, or sometimes it's Laser Imaging Detection and Ranging. Some people call them point clouds, but I think that's confusing because a point cloud is usually a scan of a feature, something like scanning a building and being able to measure the door widths, or scanning a machine and being able to identify all the nuts and bolts. Our LIDAR is far lower resolution than that. If we scan the planet at the resolution of a point cloud, there just wouldn't be enough storage space on Earth to be able to store that level of data. Our data is usually most commonly found anywhere from 250mm resolution to 50 meters resolution. That is to say, there's an elevation point on a grid every 250mm or every 50 meters or any value in between, whichever resolution you work on. LIDAR is classed as a raster file, so just like an image, and in most software it handles it as an image. Civil 3D can also handle it as an image when using something like FDO or the Map 3D functionality, but we tend to use it as a surface. So we can do stuff with it, like get height data and create profiles, etc. Now, just like an image, if I zoom in on them, it's constructed the same way. An image is just an example of a grid of numbers, and them numbers are RGB, red, green, blue, and the value of that, each of them three numbers, dictate what colour it is. LIDAR is exactly the same. It's the same three numbers, but this time the numbers represent X, Y, Z, and they're usually much bigger numbers. So for landform, there's a few acronyms you need to know. This is not a definitive list, but some of the common ones you will have already come across. So we know LIDAR. This is the generic name for laser scans. And then you have some more generic names, so DEM, DGM, DTM, DSM, ASCII, things like that. So DEM is a digital elevation model, then you've got a digital ground model, DGM, a digital surface model, and an ASCII grid. They're all the same thing basically. The names are completely interchangeable. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange, and it's a universal language for text exchange. Remember, this is just a file with lots of XYZ data in it. And they can represent different things though. So for example, DTM, a digital terrain model, and a DSM, a digital surface model highlighted here, they are different in that the DSM contains everything on the Earth's surface, houses, trees, parked cars, everything, whereas a DTM has these all stripped out and only shows the land. This is useful, for example, this is a 1 meter grid DSM, and here we've got the same surface with all the features stripped out, and it's called a DTM. It's easy to remember: DS for surface and DT for terrain. Let's just show that in a more extreme case here, where there's a bridge running across a river. It makes it a lot easier to see. You can see that bridge structure in this kind of area around here, and if I click and remove that, you can see there that the bridge structure and everything has gone. Then we have some other formats as well. So these are the formats, and some of these are very common. You'll have come across them. ASC, for example, it's a proprietary ASCII grid format. TIFF, which stands for Tag Image Format. You'll have all come across this. If you're an acronym geek, you'll like that sort of thing. You've probably heard of these, but images as well. You know, you can get a TIFF file as an image file or a TIFF file as a terrain file. Usually it's referred to as a GeoTIFF. We've got LAS and E57. These are more commonly used in point clouds. You know, when you when you're scanning a building or some sort of feature. But I have seen them used for ground imagery as well. So now let's have a look at how we get hold of this data. Because of the European Union's Inspire directive, we've got oodles of data that we can use. All of England is covered with a hybrid LIDAR dataset. Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland and Ireland, they've got their own portals with the data. It's not as comprehensive as the English dataset at this stage, but you know, the important bits are covered. So the central belt in Scotland, or places that are more likely to require the data, but they're building on that now. Each of the nations are all building on that. But basically you just go to this website, if you're in England of course, environment.data.gov.uk/survey. If you are working in a different country, then just get in touch and we'll find the right data with you. Okay, so let's go and have a look at how we get that data live. In this website you can zoom into the area that you're working in. Where's mine? It's around this area here. You can find where you want to build a site, and you can just draw a polygon and it'll come back with which tiles are available. Get available tiles, and you can see you can pick in here the release, the type. DTM is digital terrain model, DSM is digital surface model, so that has all the surface features in it. We're just interested in the ground model, so DTM, and then you can download it from here. There's another option though that you can do if you don't know where this site is. If I just refresh that, if you've got the site already set up, so we've got a polygon here, this is our site. The tiles that you download are 5 kilometers by 5 kilometers, so it's that big. So that's the size of the tile that you're going to download. We just want this area here. So what we can do is we can go and find that on the map. It's very easy. Use the command map export, because you're going to export it as a Esri shape file. We'll just go and export that into my data folder. And we go in here and I don't know, I'll call it site limits, whatever. Make sure it's a shapefile. It needs to be a closed polyline, so it has to be closed. We're going to export it as a polygon. And all we need to do, we don't need to export any data, we just need to select the object. So I'm going to select that line there and tell it that we're going to treat closed polylines as polygons. Hit OK. That will export. It'll tell you that it took 1 second to export. So let me go and find that data, and here it is. Here's our file. All we need to do here is compress it into a zip folder, go back to our data server, and instead of drawing the area we can just upload a shapefile. So let's go and find that shapefile. There it is, site limits, get available tiles. It'll have already put that site in there. There it is. So it's picked that one there, and it's going to go and find the files, and there we are. We want to pick DTM, we want to pick 1 meter resolution. There's only one dataset in there, 2022. Download all, and that will download into my downloads folder. Once it's finished downloading, just uncompress that file, and in there you'll see your GeoTIFF file. So let's go to our Civil 3D. And you'll see here I've already made a surface. It's just an empty surface, it's not been defined by anything yet, and we're going to add the boundary first, which is unusual. So we'll add the boundary in. You've all seen this, you would give it a name if necessary. It'll be a non-destructive, but in here we have this one here that's rarely used called data clip, and what that does is that will clip out any data before it imports it. So rather than importing all 50 million triangles or 25 million points, you're just going to import within that boundary. So it's going to save a lot of time in the long run. So we'll do a data clip, hit OK and select our boundary. There it is. Now we can import our LIDAR. There it is, DEM file. Add that in. Go and find your TIFF file and bring it in. Hit OK and give it a minute to process 25 million points. So I'm going to pause now so you don't have to watch that processing. And there it is. It took about 30 seconds, something like that. So that's probably a tenth of the time it would take if you imported the whole lot in there. But that's our LIDAR data. Let's have a quick look at that. We can look at it in the new model viewer, or we can look at it in the object viewer. I'll look at it in the object viewer. And there is our LIDAR data. The style we're using here is on a 5 meter grid actually, so it makes it much better for performance when you're working in 3D, that is. And that's it. That's an efficient way of working with LIDAR data. Thanks very much, and keep tuned in for the next episode, which will be looking at feature lines.